To introduce is the general manager, Amanda McAlaster. She is going to be the general manager. She'll be moving here and becoming a permanent resident of Rawlins. She's coming from Riverton. She spent 2 years there. She did come from a state away from us to get there. But once she got here, she loved it. And she'll be bringing her husband and 2 lovely boys to join us here in Rawlins real soon. So this is Amanda. And then the next one I get to introduce is the regional marketing director for Walmart. Out of the 11 stores here in Wyoming, he oversees 8 of them. He is a Wyoming bred. He was born in South Dakota, but he only made it 4 years, and he said he had to get over here and join us. So he's lived his whole life here in Wyoming, and he's also a UW grad. And he'll be overseeing this property for the marketing. This is Jeremiah Griffin.
The store, you can, for those of you that have been watching over the last few days, there's some, I don't even know what they call that, black fencing that keeps the set.
Silt barrier.
What is it?
A silt barrier.
A silt barrier. Okay, so now we got the official term, and I'll sound smarter next time I talk. So you guys have seen the silt barrier go up. There's some trucks up there, some tractors. I think they're doing gas work. I saw spray paint all over for gas lines, electrical lines, all that stuff. So it's the real deal. I know that there's been people that have told me as I've gone around town the last couple months, say, yeah, well, when you break ground, I'll believe it. It's up there. It's real. So that obviously makes us very excited because it is real. We're looking at some hiring sites right now so that we can start that process here in the next few months. And then we've got probably a late fall opening set up right now is what we're anticipating. Wyoming had a pretty tough April for weather last year, so we'll see what April and May bring us this year. Full line supercenter, for those of you that are familiar with Rock Springs, Casper, Riverton, Laramie stores, full line, but about half the size, so limited assortment from a fresh perspective. So, we talk a lot about competition, and I know that that's what's on people's minds a lot of times when a situation like this happens. And Amanda and I spent some time in City Market this morning talking about the things that they do great, and if they continue to do great, then we're going to absolutely be able to coexist, because there's a lot of stuff that they have in their building that we're just not going to have in our building. About 70,000 square feet, but again, the basic Walmart that y'all are used to as you've traveled around the state, just in a smaller format. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I guess, Robert, we can just take questions.
Questions if you like.
Until 1 or 5. All right, so Brave. So
what will your hours be, and how many employees will you have?
So I can tell you the hours, but I don't know yet of the employees. Hours is 24 hours. We're gonna go 24 hours. We are in conversations right now about pharmacy specifically, but right now we're looking at probably 7-day opening for pharmacy. As far as number of associates, I've ballparked it at about 100 to 130. It's very ballpark. I will tell you that this particular building and the way things will be set up in the store, while I said that it was very similar in as far as product line, you will see that it's set up a lot differently than a lot of other Walmarts that you're used to. This is only going to be the 3rd one in the entire United States. There's only one open right now in Camilla, Georgia. And Amanda and I are gonna take a trip down there in a couple months to see that one so that we know more about what because we're not even sure other than blueprints and stuff, what reality is a lot different than blueprints. So that's very exciting, but that's why I just ballpark it. Because of the way it's laid out and everything, it's not anything that I'm used to as far as a staff and labor perspective. I know the sandwich is good, but there's got to be more questions.
The corner back there.
Okay.
Why did we cut it down from what it was down to this smaller Walmart?
Okay, so quite honestly, I think that it's fair to say that staffing is usually a concern, right? And that's nothing that's Rawlins specific, right? I mean, I've been around almost my entire life. Rock Springs is tough, Sheridan's tough, Gillette's tough, Casper's tough, Cheyenne's become tougher. So this is, we wanted to balance, the reason we're doing this prototype is we're trying to find the balance between giving the community what we feel it needs and wants versus having this monster box that we can't serve the community very well because we can't staff it very well. So this is our attempt at the best of both worlds. That's why I said it's, so like for instance, City Market has a really broad assortment of deli. And we're not gonna have that. So they're gonna, if they can continue to be great at deli, then they're gonna be successful. We're not gonna have beer, wine, and liquor. They've got a fantastic, really, beer, wine, and liquor place. There's their floral department. We're just, that's not something we're going to get into in our building to the scale of what they're doing. So a little bit of a balance of both. Okay. Ma'am? Ruth, is it? Or no? No? Okay.
It sounds like an awfully aggressive construction schedule. Can the infrastructure stay up with you? Highway department, city, utilities, etc.
That's why I was pretty vague about deadlines. Because, and seriously, it's a great question, and it's part of a lot of the conversations that I've had that quite frankly, if I'm making some decisions based on labor, we've got to think that construction is making decisions based on labor. You know, whatever the highway department schedules are, you know that my dad worked for the highway department, so I can say, you know, they work like 9 to 2. I hope I didn't finish my dad works 9 to 2, Monday through Thursdays, sometimes Wednesdays. But that's the reality of it is that there's weather, there's construction issues, there's so many factors that go into building a building. In my 19 years at Walmart, I've seen them delayed way too many times, just due to things out of external factors that aren't really in our control. So that's why I was vague. Does that answer the question? Not really.
It takes an extra emphasis to stay on top of all of those issues.
Yes, and I think the other thing that I've had to portray to people is there's not an understanding of, if you don't get your job done on schedule in this project, you're probably 100 miles away, maybe. It's not like you're working, you don't have an electrician necessarily that is working on 5 different projects within 10 miles of each other. They've got to stay on task because they just can't keep coming back and forth from an expense standpoint from wherever they're coming. And I don't know, that's why I was vague, because I was okay.
Who's the main contractor?
I knew somebody was gonna ask me that, and I'm not prepared to answer because I don't know. I apologize. I feel really
Are
silly.
they gonna have a fuel island there at Walmart also?
I'm sorry?
A fuel island?
It's being discussed.
Oh,
Yes. Yes?
Yes.
See, some people know more than I do. Is it yes? For sure?
I don't know. I don't know if it's yes, but a lot of people.
All of those in favor of saying yes, say aye.
No, I was gonna say, if you wanted, if the question was, do I think there should be a fuel site? Yes, I absolutely think there should be a fuel site. Fuel sites are just, it's something that Walmart dabbled in, and then we got out of it, and now we're talking about it again, so the 19 years of Walmart, again, I'm saying some stuff based on experiences. I've seen it go up until last minute decisions are made.
It wasn't excluded on the plan, so.
It was on the site plan here, I don't know who said that, but no, it was on the site plan. So I would lean towards that I feel good, but again, I'm gonna stay vague on it. Go ahead.
What about optical and beauty salon?
So no beauty salon and no optical, just pharmacy.
So no restaurants either then?
No restaurants. No. No tires. No. Yeah, I should say no automotive services. We will still be able to order tires, but we couldn't put them, and we can't change oil, and we can't do fuel injectors and all that stuff.
Will you be, like you did here with Amanda, will you be bringing in management from other
I know
stores?
that that's good.
A little bit of both. We've actually hired 3 local individuals. Just met them 2 weeks ago. Amanda knows them a lot better, so if you have questions about them, then you might have to ask Amanda. I just briefly met them 2 weeks ago.
And we didn't hear back here, what are these for?
I'm sorry, the management team. So we've hired three local individuals right now. Dina, Kim, and Mike. Wait, sorry.
Close.
Wait. Yeah, really? Mike Wade for it. And then yes, I've got a couple people coming from one from Casper, one potentially from Evanston, one from Riverton that Amanda's going to bring with her. So a mixture. What's that?
They're gonna need housing.
They are going to need housing. We've been driving around town talking about that as well. So, yes.
Will there be a copy?
I'm sorry.
A copy center.
No.
I would think that'd go to the other side.
Go ahead.
Will you be holding job fairs, certain, but how far out from, you do like a month at a time, you can train and all that?
We're actually probably just due to location, probably gonna start a little bit earlier, looking for around June to start, possibly depending on your questions about timeline of construction and stuff, so.
Is the building being designed to expand at all?
I'm not an architect, they do some pretty funky things. I know that the lot is big enough to expand, if we get to that point that we feel like we can sustain that. I will tell you that there's zero talk of it right now. There's nothing special being done with the building that I'm aware of that would lend itself to expansion.
2 questions. Outside landscaping, gardening,
And guns? So yes on guns. No, I'm not going to have any better ammo situation than anybody else. So don't even ask. And outdoor living, gardening and stuff. Yes. So we're gonna have a patio that's very, I would say, similar to the Laramie store. So it'll have a chain link fenced area with with the resin benches, and we'll do live goods and soils and mulches.
Building wise or size wise, I'm familiar with Laramie. On the scale, is it 3/4 the size of that or half?
A little less than half.
That's still a big store.
Yes, and if you take out all the, if you think about restaurant, hair salon, nail salon, TLE that Laramie has, full service deli, full service bakery, if you take all that square footage out, that's my best way to tell you that it really will feel pretty normal without the auxiliary outer perimeter stuff. So you lose a lot of square footage when you remove all of that stuff, and then that makes sense. So, is that 2 questions? Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
I have 2 questions. One, is it going to have a look and feel of the neighborhood market kind of thing that you've got in other places? And 2, are you going to allow overnight camping and parking in the parking lot?
Me from the KOA. Oh, I already saw her jacket. And I was already prepared to answer that question.
You gonna refer to Amanda?
Answer the first question first, that's okay.
And see, now I'm all twisted out. The neighborhood markets.
Yes.
So, yes and no. So, what neighborhood market are you familiar with?
The ones in the south.
Okay, so it's bigger than that, but it's different because the neighborhood markets typically carry a lot more full-line grocery. So we're going to have everything, other than shaky girl and glasses. So like one of the things as I go around town and that I'm pretty excited about, you know, I think new stuff in home goods, so domestics, housewares, things of that nature. I'm excited about our electronics department. I think that's going to be neat. Garden center, I mean, you already brought it up. I definitely think we would have a pretty real life garden center. So a little bit neighborhood market size, but assortment's going to look a lot different. And neighborhood markets are typically kind of green facades and stuff. Ours will still be blue. So, okay, your second question. I have no idea what local ordinances are, and this is going to be a very canned answer that says I'm not going to encourage it, but I'm not going to police it. Meaning that depending on, so I will tell you just out of sheer transparency that in Cheyenne, we typically have a huge parking lot in Cheyenne. And we have a major problem in that store, particularly around Frontier Ridge. If you can imagine. So we just out of sheer partnerships and everything else, we did agree there to if anything, we took documentation of whoever was there when the overnight managers would come in, and we would go and stick a flyer on their window saying that, hey, this is not allowed. You risk the cops coming by and giving you a ticket. We're not doing anything but giving you fair warning, and then we also posted signs on our light poles about no overnight parking, and that was really more due to, we have such a big lot that we were starting to become a used car lot, and I didn't like that. So that's my answer. Okay. Go ahead.
Does Walmart do any community involvement programs? And if so, is there going to be anything, having anything planned for Walmart's?
Yes. So the couple things that Amanda and I have talked about, the one thing that that I've talked to her about is, I've read a lot about downtown beautification. And we do a lot of, like I think my favorite one that we participate in as far as downtown kind of city beautification is in Rock Springs. And we donate, oh gosh, hundreds of annuals every year for them to do their planters along their main roads in downtown and in their pots and stuff that are hanging there. So your downtown beautification projects and stuff that I've read about, that's one of the things that I've talked to Amanda about. And then Amanda is very much, or at least her boys are, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts. I guess they're still little guys. So Amanda really, her and I have talked a lot more about local, very local organizations, trying not to do anything big and massive, I guess, because I don't know that means as much. So, and then we'll do some soliciting around grand opening time to see who needs help with what, and try to make some big fanfare for that. We do have a program at Walmart called Event Now. And it's volunteerism always pays is what the acronym is, and we can get groups of associates together, and if they collectively volunteer on one project as a group, then we can get in it. Each associate will get money for their time to donate to the organization, but then as a group, is it $250 or?
I've done 2 this year. So, let me start.
Yeah, please.
Well, I've done 2 VAPs this year. Thank goodness, I know a little bit about it. In Riverton, the college, they have Wyoming PBS there, and they do that telethon every year. So 5 or 6 of us get together, we answer phones for a couple hours, and for the 5 hours, each 5 of us gave, so that's 25 hours. So for 25 hours, they write a check for $250. And then I also do Cub Scouts as well. I volunteer, we go on day camps and do whatever we do. And so once I accumulate 25 hours with Cub Scouts, I turn that in, and then they give Cub Scouts a check for $250 as well. So every time I have myself or my team has done 25 hours, that organization gets $250. And all they really have to do is be in the community and not profit off anything. So it can go for a ton of different things. I saw that you guys have like volunteer day downtown. You get 5 associates down there for one day and you've got $250 coming to you. So, and we love doing things like that. So.
Yes, sir.
It sounds to me like is your store going to be more the size of the Riverton store then? The store size?
No, it's
still going to be
Still
smaller.
going to be smaller?
Yeah.
But you're going to be having all your departments basically that you have in your store, as long as they're smaller.